The Bank of England is to unveil plans allowing European banks to operate in the UK as normal post-Brexit. The BBC has learned that banks offering wholesale finance money and services provided to businesses and each other would operate under existing rules. It means EU banks operating through branches, you can continue without creating subsidiaries, an expensive process. The difference between branches and subsidiaries is something all of us might have hoped not to care about ever, but it is significant, so please bear with me. Changing from a branch to a subsidiary could cost billions for a bank like Deutsche Bank, for example, which employs 9,000 people in the UK. Currently, banks based anywhere in the EU can sell services to anywhere else in the EU thanks to an instrument known as financial services passport. On Monday, EU Chief Negotiator Michel Barnier was talking tough on UK-based financial services access to the European single market after Brexit. There is no place for financial services. There is not a single trade agreement that is open to financial services. It doesn't exist. In leaving the single market, they lose the financial services passport, he said. Encouraging EU banks to continue to operate in the UK will help preserve financial stability for the UK and the EU, and will help defend London's position as an open global financial centre, he said. Forcing EU bank branches in the UK to become separately capitalised subsidiaries may well have encouraged European banks to pull out of London, gradually eroding its pre-eminence as a financial centre. But on the other hand, London acts as the wholesale bank to the EU, and access to its expertise and capital is highly prized. Some may see this decision as surrendering a trump card that should have been held back for the tough negotiations ahead. So, why are we allowing the EU access to this valuable resource, while the EU threatens to create barriers the other way? Government sources said there are 3 reasons. And third, there is another important economic point. Services sold by the UK branch of a French or German bank to a third country like the US, for example, count as UK exports, something the government is keen to maximise. In a speech back in October, Sam Woods, the head of the Prudential Regulation Authority, the bit of the Bank of England that supervises banks, said the reason the European financial markets work so well is not just due to the passport that Michel Barnier insists will be revoked. We have embedded a sophisticated framework of supervisory cooperation. There is every reason to think these will continue into the future. This sentiment echoes what a senior banker told me 6 months ago. If the regulators were in charge, and not the politicians, this would all be sorted out in a fortnight. Quote, "They are not in charge. But I understand the bank has the blessing of the government in offering this no new post-Brexit strings attached access to the world's largest financial centre.